Welcome to Alan Cooking, and I would guess everybody of you knows this ingredient, the simple potato. But in the end, it is the main star in so many side dishes. One of them is, of course, the mashed potato. And as you can see, I'm missing the main dish. And if you want to know what goes here, you can click over here. Now, let me show you how to make this nice mashed potato. For my mashed potatoes, I will use potatoes, salt, butter, milk, and finally nutmeg to flavor. The first step with mashed potatoes, as with all potato dishes, is to peel the potatoes. Once the potatoes are peeled, I prefer to remove the black spots as they don't taste really good. And they will not look good in the final product. Peeled potatoes should go into cold water. This is to stop the oxidation. If you don't do it, the potatoes can get a bit brownish, and then the mashed potatoes will not look nice. Plus, you can always use that water to wash the potatoes. I always cut potatoes in cubes of the same size. If the cubes are the same size, then they will cook equally long. That is especially important if the potatoes are different sizes, some smaller, some bigger, and you just want to have them equally big. In my opinion, medium-sized pieces, as I am using, are the best for mashed potatoes. They're cooked pretty quick if you compare it to the big chunks. You should avoid really small pieces. You may save some cooking time, but on the other hand, they will absorb so much water while they're boiling. And the result of that is going to be watery mashed potatoes. The cooking time for potatoes is about 25 to 30 minutes. But to be sure, just poke them with a fork or knife, and if they fall apart, they're done. If you want really good mashed potatoes, you need to work with steaming hot potatoes. My first step is just to mash the potatoes. I just want to make the prep fork so that later I can add butter, salt, and milk and make really nice creamy mashed potatoes. First goes butter in thin stripes. This way it will melt on the steaming hot potatoes. Next step is room temperature milk. This is important because you don't want to cool down the mixture. It looks a bit liquidy, but that is okay because I will now mash, mash, mash. If you think you need more milk, just add. And of course, don't forget to add salt. And then again, just mash, mash, mash. In my version, adding nutmeg is the last step. If you wish, now you can add some other spices and flavorings to your mashed potatoes, or just skip this part. Just mix everything together and your creamy, chunky, rustic mashed potato are done. And the only thing left to do is to pair it with your favorite main dish. The mashed potatoes are done, and it is a pretty simple and basic recipe. I didn't do anything really crazy, but people really forget often. You can add so much stuff to your mashed potatoes. In my example, I added nutmeg, but you can add all different herbs and flavorings, and it will change how the mashed potatoes taste and how it goes together with your main dish later. It's not going to be just I would say simple side dish, but you can always elevate it with really small touches. So let's see how it tastes and how this actually look, because as you can see, this one, it has some pretty big chunks inside. So as I said, I was going for rustic, simple and easy. So, and this is exactly this. Cheers. And exactly what you would expect, with a strong nutmeg flavor, and it's going to play really nice together with my main dish. And as I said, check it over here and have a nice day and enjoy.